There's certainly a need in humankind to make some kind of music. Most people will go around singing some tune, even if it's tuneless, and say they're not musical. There will be a need to do some music, whether it's kind of movement or just listening to the beat of music. And somehow that seems part of one's nature. And it's something which is God-given.
Sound in Islam is quite important. The sounds of the Quran, the sounds of the words of the Prophet ﷺ. In fact, the Quran means that which is recited profusely. And I think it is just natural that anything recited must be heard. The Quran talks about sounds that call us to prayer, like the adhan, for example. And it is sounded out to as far possible in the area around the mosque, calling people to prayer. The actual 5 daily obligatory prayers that a Muslim prays is an opportunity for the person in prayer with particular sounds from the Quran which are necessary to sound out their souls to the divine.
Music in prayer is a spiritual experience. I think people who listen to it, who get in touch with the music while they are praying, that it definitely has a synergistic effect that can aid them in moving towards this spiritual awareness, whatever it means towards that.
My role as a Khazan is basically to read the prayers for everybody with the collaboration of the choir and to chant it in a way that will be inspiring and to uplift the prayers to God.
Sound is a means of carrying many, many things that we want to convey to God, to the Creator. So if one really releases her voice, that person will be communicating. So we feel that this is one of the best means at our disposal. The music replaces all forms of anxiety. The rhythm, becomes electrical. We tend to fall into trance, That is the movement of the spirit. We invoke it by singing.
The importance of resonance music is common in all religions and amongst all people. Some go into a trance, some go into a state of bliss for days. And this proves that sound is the easiest way of accomplishing a higher consciousness.
Wild instruments, sitar or the veena, the flute, even the harmonium that is used in singing the glories of God, what it does is it concentrates the mind to a focus. Through the repetition of God's name, through the singing, they lose track of every aspect of creation in the world as such, only to be reminded of just one thing, and that is God.
There's evidence that early Christian music came from synagogue music and also possibly from Greek modes. It was a kind of chant, in fact known as Gregorian chanting, in which the words are the most important thing. The music, in a sense, disappears. And this hypnotic quality of plain song, which creates a kind of atmosphere, mantra, meditation. Music is the bicycle on which the liturgy rides. The liturgy exists without music, obviously, but somehow it propels it forward with an inevitability. As the sound carries on, one feels this whole wafting upwards of one's emotions, and the music just takes those prayers with it. The most important thing I do is not get in the way of the music in worship, that in a sense, I'm a kind of vessel through which the music passes, and I'm able to pass it on to choirs and to players, and hopefully to the people who are worshipping at the same time.
The connection in the olden days, we were not allowed to speak direct to God. First of all, you have to speak to the ancestors. It's the ancestors that are going to pass your message and your prayer to God. The traditional healers, when they play the drum, the feet are also doing the same thing. So the drums is louder to connect with God. The feet are on the ground, connecting with the ancestors. So a drum really plays a very vital role, you know, in African music.
Normal toning of the prayers follows what we call a nusach. You can go to a different shul anywhere in the world and you will pick up these same themes, these same nusach. The music brings that feeling of togetherness. The musicality of Shabbat as a whole does get carried through